Welcome back to another episode of Elite Growth Podcast. Today, I'm going to throw a curveball at you. Something might sound little uncomfortable, maybe even controversial at first. Here's the title: Your kids are not going to go to university. Stop spending too much money on their education right now. Now, because you jump before you jump into conclusion, I am not saying education is bad. I'm not saying learning is useless. What I'm saying is that the world has changed, and the way our kids will learn, grow, and succeed is radically different from the way we were taught. Think about it. We live in a time where almost every field, property, business, marketing, AI, health, even mindset, already has a network of professional coaches and mentors. These aren't just teachers who are uh, reading out from the textbooks like they do in the university. They are the people who have done it. They have built a seven-figure business and they have failed. They have succeeded. They have refined real world strategies into frameworks that actually work. If you want to build a property portfolio, you don't go to university and study property theory for 4 years. You hire a property coach who has already done hundreds of deals. If you want to launch a AI agency, you don't need a degree of computer science. You work with a business coach who has already built a seven-figure agency and can show you step by step. That's the shift. Our kids are waking up to this. They don't want theory. They want results. They don't want to sit in classroom memorizing outdated formulas. They want to get their hands dirty, test ideas, fail first, and move forward. Let me take you back to my own journey. When I finished school, the right path was clear. Go to university. I enrolled in a 4-year electronics and communication engineering program. I spent those years learning theory, writing code, solving problems on paper. When I graduated, I started as a software trainee. From there, I climbed the corporate ladder: associate, senior associate, manager, senior manager, etc. And here I am, 20 years later, with the experience in building software solutions, which I'm good at. But here's the truth. In these 20 years, I never learned how to acquire clients. Nobody taught me sales. Nobody explained marketing, negotiation, or building systems for businesses. University gave me the technical skill, but not the entrepreneurial skill. Now imagine if I had taken a different route. Imagine if instead of university, I had worked with a professional coach right after the school. Imagine I had spent 1 year learning business strategy, client acquisition, marketing funnels, and how actually to sell a solution. By end of the year, I could have launched my own business. And instead of spending 20 years climbing the corporate ladder, I could have spent 20 years building my own ladder. That's the opportunity our kids are waking up to. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most schools in the universities are outdated. They don't match the pace of today's world. Schools discourage failure, but in business, failure is the tuition you pay for success. In fact, with my own experience, 9 out of 10 business ideas don't work. And it always pushes you to give up, like this is not going to work. It's a bad idea. But that's what the education has prepared you to try one way, and if it doesn't work, just give up. But now that's okay, because every failed ideas sharpen your instinct and teaches you what works in the real world. But does the education system prepare kids for this? No. It teaches them to avoid risk, to stay safe, to memorize and repeat. That's why so many graduates walk out of the degree, but no direction, no idea how to sell, no idea how to negotiate, no idea how to build something that actually sustains them. Now compare that to this new model working with professional coaches. Instead of spending 3 or 4 years in the university classroom, our kids can spend 1 year under the guidance of a business coach, a property mentor, or even a mindset strategist. They will fail, they will experiment, they will pivot, but by the end of that year, they will have just not just the knowledge, but a working business, a client base, a product, and the confidence to grow. It's not just faster, it's practical. It's aligned with how kids think today. There are entrepreneurial by nature. They want freedom. They want to work from anywhere. They want businesses that make profit while giving them flexibility. That's the future, and it's not 20 years away. It's happening right now. So, what does this mean to us as parents? It means we need to stop pouring every last penny into an outdated education system. Instead, we should save and invest that money differently, not into student loans, not into overpaid degree, but into their future ventures. Because when your child chooses to work with coach, they will need support. These coaches are not cheap. They charge you around 10 to 15,000 pounds a year for a year's support. They will need money for coaching fees, business licenses, software tools, maybe even rent a place while they are building their future ventures. That's where your money truly becomes an investment, not a degree, but in their future business. Think of it as startup funding for your kids. Instead of giving money to universities, give them the resources to build something of their own. So let me leave you with this thought. The next generation is not going to walk the same path we did. They don't want job security. They don't want to grow up somebody else's ladder. They want freedom. They don't want grades. They want growth. As parents, as mentors, as a society, we need to recognize this shift. Stop overspending on outdated education. Start investing in coaching, in mentorship, and in their entrepreneurial journey. Because your kids aren't just going to university anymore. Their peers are going to influence your kids to take this path. I'm going to tell you this is what is going to happen after a few years when your kids finish their school. You can refer back to my video as well. They are going to build the future, and they need your support to do it. Thanks for tuning into this episode. If this resonates with you, share with the parents, a student, or anyone questioning the old path of education. Together, we can prepare the next generation, not just to survive, but to thrive. Thank you.